Hey y'all, it's Rachel from TMR Farms, and I am here with a new backdrop. I showed y'all this on Instagram stories a while ago, so if you're not following me on Instagram, that's at TMR Farms over there, but I have like a new location that I'm filming and a new tablecloth, which you're gonna see in part of the video. That's really pretty. It has little cacti on it, but anyway, today I wanted to do a review video for you for this Click coffee protein powder. I want to clarify from the get-go at the beginning that I'm not sponsored by them. I bought this with my own money. They're not paying me to say anything. They didn't send me any free coffee, although if they want to send me free coffee, I would not object to that, but I'm not sponsored by them. I just picked this up on my own. So I saw this being reviewed by other people. I just kind of stumbled upon it, and I've seen people talk about how much they liked it and how good it tasted, and that it tasted just like coffee and it didn't have a protein powder kind of a taste. So I decided to try it because I had been kind of looking for something like this, and I was a little bit skeptical, a little bit worried that I wasn't gonna like it, but I actually ended up really liking it, and so that's why I decided to review it. So first, just to give you an idea of what this is, it's a coffee protein drink mix. So it's flavored like a caramel, like latte or frappuccino, depending on how you make it. I make mine cold like a frappuccino. So that's what the flavor is. It also comes in, I think, vanilla and mocha. I haven't tried those yet. I only got the caramel because caramel is what I usually prefer. And it's basically just like an instant coffee drink that has protein in it. So in here it has 16 grams of protein, only 11 carbs, and only like 6 grams of sugar. Has 150 grams of, 150 milligrams of caffeine, which I had to Google that because I'm not like super familiar with how much caffeine is in coffee drinks, and 150 milligrams is roughly equivalent to a venti size Starbucks drink. I looked that up, like a venti size Starbucks Frappuccino is supposed to have about 140 milligrams. So that's a little bit more caffeine than what I usually drink because I actually don't drink coffee very often at all. But when I do, I usually get like the tall size, I think it is, or like whatever their medium size is. I think that's grande, and then venti is like the largest one. So it's a little bit more caffeine than I usually drink, and it also has, let's see, 23 essential vitamins and minerals. It's gluten-free and no artificial colors or flavors. And they kind of advertise it as like, and it says on the side like as a meal replacement or a pre or post workout drink kind of thing. And it's kind of advertised as like having lots of vitamins and minerals, so it's kind of like taking a vitamin and drinking coffee at the same time, plus the protein powder as well. So that's just what I saw on their website, because I did go to their website to look at it as well after I'd seen the reviews. So first, I want to talk about the things that I like about it. So I like the protein content and the lower carbs. If you've watched my previous video, you know that I'm personally on a weight loss journey, and I'm actually going to be doing a weight loss like update video probably sometime at the end of this month. But just to give a little bit of context, I'm doing low carb and not necessarily high protein or high fat, but just like low carb and then moderate protein and moderate fat. But I am trying to increase my protein intake because just in general, I feel like in my normal diet, I don't really eat enough protein typically. And so far over like the past 2 months, I have lost 12 pounds. So it has been working, and I'm going to talk more about that and exactly what I'm doing in my weight loss update video later. But that's what I kind of wanted this for, was the protein content. That's what initially attracted me to it, was that it was low in carbs and high in protein, because I'm shooting for about 40 carbs a day, between like 40 to 50. I do go over sometimes, so this doesn't like put me over the edge of then not being able to eat anything else with any carbs in it for the rest of the day. I also really like the flavor. I was very skeptical about two things: the flavor and the consistency. So I've tried multiple like meal replacement shakes and protein powders and protein drinks and stuff like that over the years, and some of them have been better than others. Some of them I pretty much liked, but I would put them in milk and not in water. I never liked them in water. And some of them were just nasty. Like if you've ever tried protein powders, you know that some of them are very chalky. Some of them have a weird, like almost burnt aftertaste kind of a thing that I do not like. And like I said, I never liked any of them in water. I always had to drink them in milk. Well, milk is it's not a carb because it also has fats and proteins, especially if you're drinking whole raw milk. It's actually pretty balanced between carbs, proteins, and fats, but it still has a lot of carbs. I think it's like 24 grams of carbs per glass of milk. So for someone who's trying to do low carb, drinking that one glass of milk kind of like skews the whole rest of the day, and you have to be like super careful to not eat any more carbs just because of the carb content in the milk. And so that kind of, to me, defeats the purpose of having a shake or a protein powder if I can't just drink it in water and avoid the extra carbs. And I'm not saying that, you know, milk is bad or mixing stuff in milk is bad, not at all. I actually think raw milk is really healthy for you, but for someone who's trying to cut carbs, I feel like it's better to avoid drinking a glass of milk and that much milk at one time, if that makes any sense. But this does not have any of those funky flavors at all. It tastes just like a caramel frappuccino. Like it really does taste like what it's advertised to be. The coffee flavor is not too strong because I was worried about that as well, because I don't I don't drink coffee just by itself, that's too strong, but I do like it in mixed drinks like this. So the coffee flavor is not too strong, the caramel tastes really good, there's no burnt flavor, there's no weird artificial sweetener kind of flavor. It tastes really, really good. And that was kind of surprising to me because I expected it to be like okay, and it ended up being really good. As far as the consistency, I was also really impressed with that as well. So we've all had those nasty shakes that end up having like a chalky consistency, or I have personally never had any kind of protein powder or shake or whatever that would blend up in the blender bottle and not leave little chunkies floating around the top. Like even the drinks and shake mixes that I liked, and I won't name any brands because I don't want to throw them under the bus or anything, but even the ones that I did like, they still did not completely incorporate in the liquid, and so then you'll be drinking it and you'll get like a chunk of powder. And this one, shaking it up in the blender bottle for like 20 seconds and there are no chunks. Like there's nothing floating, there's no granules sticking to the lid. It completely blends in into a smooth, like normal textured drink. And I really like that as well because I don't like it when textures have weird stuff going on. Like I'm a texture person, so every time you get that chunk of unblended powder, it just totally ugh. So I really like that this one just blends up smoothly in the blender bottle. The price, I mentioned earlier, you know, that coffee shop drinks are really expensive. It's like $5 just to get like a medium-sized coffee drink at most places where you can go get them. Some are a little bit cheaper than others, but they are pretty expensive. This one was, I believe it was about $25 off of Amazon. Plus I have Prime, so I got free shipping. And this container has 14 servings in it. So if you drink it every single day, this will last you 2 weeks. So I just double checked it, and the price is actually $17.95 right now on Amazon Prime. I think that's actually gone down since I ordered it, because I'm like almost positive that this was like 20 something when I ordered it, but now it's down to $17.95. And you know, Amazon, sometimes they change the prices or put something on sale or something like that. So it's actually gone down. So I'm gonna do the math with like a basis of 20 because I feel like that's gonna be around the price it's gonna be on Amazon no matter when you buy it. Okay, so I just double checked the math now as well. And it's going to be, if you pay roughly $20 for this, which like I said, that may fluctuate, but if you pay roughly $20 for this and you get free shipping with Prime, then one serving is only like $1.43. So that is a really good price for this much coffee. This is in ice, so some of this is ice, but you mix it up with 12 to 14 ounces of liquid. So if you were doing it with just liquid and no ice, it would be about here, so it'd be like that much, and then I put ice in it so it's a little bit higher, and then as the ice melts I keep drinking it, so it does get a little bit watered down, before I'm done just because I put ice in it, but it's not bad at all. And you can actually do it hot, iced, or I guess just in plain cold water without ice, or blended. And I'm sorry, I keep looking over here because I have a list. I wrote down all the pros and cons so I wouldn't forget what I wanted to tell you. So I think that's a really great price. It definitely beats paying like $5 at Starbucks or something. I'm gonna Google that too, how much it costs at Starbucks, just so I have all the facts. So I Googled this as well, and according to the internet, a Starbucks venti size, which would be the equivalent in caffeine to this coffee drink, is $4.95 on average. So you would be paying about $5 per serving versus $1.43 per serving. So that's a lot better price. And the information, the nutritional information for a venti sized caramel frappuccino at Starbucks has 85 grams of carbs. I did not realize it was going to be that high. So we're looking at 85 grams of carbs versus 11 grams of carbs. 84 grams of sugar versus 6 grams of sugar, and only 6 grams of protein. Wow, I honestly didn't even realize how much carbs were in like coffee shop drinks, but the more you know. So this is a lot better for the price and for the health benefits than actually going and buying coffee somewhere. So in terms of how you make this, it's also very simple. Different. Obviously, it's not stuff that I feel is severe enough to discontinue drinking it, obviously, since I'm still drinking it. But these are things that I do like wish that they would change, and I feel like they probably could change it and not really affect the flavor and consistency or the macros of the product. But they didn't ask me, I wasn't on their consulting team when they developed this, so, but I do want to go over some of the things I don't like about it, just to be completely honest. So the number one thing that I wish were different is that it does contain soy. Now, it's not as bad as some protein powders, because some protein powders rely on soy as their main source of protein, and I would not continue to drink it if that were the case. The soy content of this is only in the soy lecithin, which is like a preservative. So I wish that it did not have the soy lecithin, but I know that that's gonna be kind of a negligible amount of soy in this product. So again, I feel like it's not severe enough that I'm going to discontinue consuming it because of that. And also, as I go through some of these cons, I also want to say that at this point in time, I am trying to do cleaner eating and eating better foods in general, but I'm focusing more just on the macros. So I'm focusing more just on cutting carbs. Right now, I don't want to try to focus on cutting the carbs and making sure every single thing I eat is like completely 100% clean, because that can get really, like, you get bogged down in all the minutia when you try to do that. So I'm just kind of taking baby steps toward making better choices for food in general. But for the time being, because my main goal right now is weight loss, I want to just focus the most on getting the right amount of macros and cutting the carbs. But anyway, another thing about it that I don't like is one of the ingredients is sucralose, which is, let's see, it says that it's less than 2% of the powder. It's in this little, like, it has a little list of less than 2% of the following, and then most of that list is the vitamins and minerals. But it's also sucralose. And if you're not familiar with sucralose, sucralose is actually Splenda. And I am not a fan of artificial sweeteners. To me, I think it's healthier and better to just eat moderate amounts of real sweeteners. So things like honey, molasses, real maple syrup, real cane sugar, not, you know, that's less refined, like the turbinado sugar, that kind of thing. I feel like that's healthier than sucralose. And if I do reach for a sugar substitute, I prefer it to be like something like stevia, where it's coming from a plant. So I don't really like that it has sucralose. I wish that they had chosen to go with stevia or something like that, or even, I forget how it's pronounced, but the erythritol. I'll put like words here so you can see what I'm talking about. It's also derived from a plant. So I wish that they had gone with a healthier option for the sugar substitute than the sucralose. And I think that would be an easy change if by some random miracle that Click actually sees this review. That would be the two things that I would most change. I would replace the soy lecithin with something else, and I would replace the sucralose with like stevia or something. And I feel like that could be done pretty easily and not hurt the quality of the drink. Like, I don't think it would affect the flavor or anything like that. But like I said, overall, I think that this is more frugal and economic, more healthy, has less funky ingredients than other coffees. And so I feel like that is a pretty good trade-off to have a primarily healthy drink that really has mostly clean ingredients and actually has low carbs and a good source of protein in it, and then just kind of accept that it is going to have the sucralose and the soy lecithin versus all the random stuff that you're going to get at a coffee shop where you may not even know what all ingredients it has. So, and plus you're gonna pay less and all that. So I feel like overall it is definitely worth it. I'm gonna continue drinking it, and I'm probably going to try some of the other flavors as well, the vanilla and the mocha, and see how I like them also. But so far I am really loving the caramel. Anyway, that is what I wanted to share with you today, because I feel like, and again, not being paid for this, but I feel like this could be really helpful for anybody who's trying to lose weight or cut their carbs or get in more protein and they want a protein powder that is not nasty. So this one is not nasty. I really like it. That's why I wanted to review it for you. So anyway, thanks for watching. You can subscribe down below to see future videos, and you can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at TRMR Farms, all those places, and I will see y'all next time. I also wanted to mention that even though I am not sponsored by Click, I did leave an affiliate link through Amazon in the description box below where you can try this, and if you use my affiliate link, it won't change your price at all, but it would give me a small percentage back for sharing the product with you. So if you want to do that, you can check it out in the description, and again, it's not sponsored, but that link is an affiliate link through Amazon, not through Click.